Good evening and thank you for joining us. Canadians have been waiting weeks for COVID-19 restrictions to be eased. With a close eye on preventing a new surge in cases, provinces are beginning to take their first cautious steps to do that. The situation is improving in many parts of the country, but some places are still grappling with rising numbers. Overall, there have been more than 56,000 cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak began. More than 3,500 people have died. Some good news in New Brunswick, which hasn't reported a new case of COVID-19 in 14 days. And today, that government says all of its 118 confirmed cases have recovered, making it the only province without an active case. But it's a different story in Quebec, which confirmed more than 1,000 new cases in the past 24 hours and 114 new deaths. Still, that province is pushing ahead with plans, despite concerns it may not be ready. Our Michael Couture takes a look at the road to reopening across the country.
It's pretty cool, though.
Imagine the frustration of a child. It's the first nice day of the year, and the playground is still off limits.
I think they miss that, getting on the swings and the monkey bars and all that kind of stuff. So that's hard, yeah.
Those won't be opened yet in Ontario, but other restrictions are being relaxed. Garden centers and nurseries can start curbside pickup on Monday, and more businesses will be allowed to reopen as long as they maintain health guidelines.
We see the trend going down, and we just want it to continue going down. We need consistency for a couple of weeks, and then we can loosen things up a little bit.
Now, other provinces are already loosening things up. Quebec will be the first to reopen elementary schools as early as May 11th. Manitoba is relaxing measures a little quicker, with some retail stores, restaurant patios, and hair salons allowed to welcome customers again as long as they maintain physical distancing. Now, Alberta is moving in that same direction, considering opening some businesses starting May 14th. In an interview on the West Block with Mercedes Stephenson, Premier Jason Kenney said the key to reopening is to keep the number of hospitalizations below what the healthcare system can handle.
My view, and that of our officials, is that we cannot eliminate the risk of the coronavirus. What we have to do is to manage the risk.
There are concerns. Part of that risk include restarting work at the Cargill meat plant in High River, Alberta, after a 2-week shutdown. It's the center of the province's largest COVID-19 outbreak. The United Food and Commercial Workers Union has launched legal action to stop the reopening amid fears it's not safe enough for employees.
There are other measures in the plant that could be helpful, like a further social distancing, which would result in probably a line speed reduction.
And the medical community is worried the entire country might be reopening too quickly.
Now, we didn't have enough testing out in the community to really get the good data, the information that we need to be able to open safely. So there is grave concern that we're hearing about opening too soon.
Provinces say they're going to continue moving forward, understanding that another spike of COVID-19 would mean they'd have to shut things down again. Michael Couture, Global News, Ottawa.
In the U.S., more than 30 states are in various stages of easing restrictions. And with warmer weather on the horizon, health officials are once again warning Americans to take precautions. As Jennifer Johnson explains, the country's top infectious disease doctor says a second round of COVID-19 is inevitable.
A massive protest in Huntington Beach, California, demanding businesses and beaches reopen. With tempers flaring, a street brawl erupted, an example of just how divided America is over returning to normal too soon. For restaurant owners in Texas, serving customers again couldn't come soon enough.
There was a time where I was losing $30,000 a day. And, it's not huge, but that's a lot of money if you're not ready for it.
White House officials are hoping businesses reopening will jumpstart America's crumbling economy. The Trump administration will now monitor how each state is doing before giving more financial aid.
We're waiting to see what the economic impact of the gradual opening up is, assessing, what that does to the demand for, say, PPP loans, these small business loans.
Members of Congress looking for answers will not hear from the nation's top infectious disease expert next week. The White House has blocked Dr. Anthony Fauci from testifying in the House, which impeached U.S. President Donald Trump, but will allow him to testify before a Senate Health Committee May 12th. Fauci has often clashed with President Trump on reopening the country too soon.
You can't just leap over things and get into a situation where you're really tempting a rebound. That's the thing I get concerned about.
So far, no state has met the federal guidelines to reopen, a decrease in COVID-19 cases for 14 days. But the economic toll of the pandemic is weighing heavily on Americans. Federal officials reporting an almost 900% surge in calls to its disaster distress national helpline.
They're faced with complete annihilation, if you will. And so being able to at least start up business again is going to relieve a tremendous amount of strain.
So I'll be going to Camp David for a working weekend.
President Trump has left the White House for the first time since late March. The president's focus now, Operation Warp Speed, pushing researchers to create a vaccine to prevent COVID-19 as quickly as possible. Jennifer Johnson, Global News, Washington.
The new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic, from the front lines to the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change. Coronavirus, the New Reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.